people. This is yours truly, DJKat the Katalyst. And of course, we're here once again with the great artist, the great sounds of Hornsman Coyote. And of course, we're so looking forward to hearing what he has to say about his journey within the music. So of course, Hornsman, you there?
Yes, greetings to everyone. I'm here.
Great.
Cope with my English a little bit because I haven't spoke quite a time.
Okay.
Because as you know, I'm based in Serbia, in Belgrade.
Yeah.
So since all these things started, and it's been a while since I talked with people abroad. So just cope with my English a little bit, and it will be all right.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. People are already putting fire emojis. They're saying, "Don't worry about it at all."
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, man. So of course, let the people know, the listeners know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Yes. I am Hornsman Coyote, aka Nemanja Kojic. I'm a reggae trombonist, singer here and there.
Okay.
Also, I'm a versatile musician because over here in Serbia, I play with a reggae-influenced heavy rock band called Iceburn for almost 30 years. We've been touring Europe in late 90s and early 2000. And since mid-2000, I'm more involved into dub and reggae music scene globally.
Yeah.
I've been recording with a lot of producers, 4 corners of the world.
Wow.
And at the moment, I'm working on 3 different productions, 3 different albums. So the works don't stop.
Wow, what an introduction, for real. So how did that all begin? How did you say, okay, I'm going to do this full time and begin the trombone? How did all that happen?
Well, I come from musical. You know, in my family there's a big musical background.
Yeah.
My uncle and from the other side, you know, I had a lot of musicians in my family. So you know, when you're a little kid, you're looking for yourself.
Yeah.
So I didn't know actually that all the time I was looking for a higher source, a higher state of mind,
yeah.
which I could only get by listening and listening music. So at very early age, I show my interest in music. So I choose trombone. In music school, I started to go to music school, and all of a sudden, one day, I was around 15, and I was first grade of high school,
yeah.
And a nutty man called Jovan came into the music school, and he asked for a trombone player, and I said, here I am, and he asked me, would you like to join a reggae band?
Wow.
That sounded to me very good, because before that I was introduced into reggae, you know, the mainstream reggae, and
yeah.
I really liked it.
Okay.
But when I was 15, I entered the Delarno band. That's the first roots reggae group
wow.
in the whole territory of ex-Yugoslavia, where I come from. As you know, before Serbia was Yugoslavia before.
Yeah.
So when I was 15, I get the first tapes from Burning Spear, Misty and Roots, and all this serious minor chord, deep roots reggae. And that is the music that brought me into the higher state of mind at the moment. So when I heard the Burning Spear horns, I said, that's it. This is the music that I wanted to hear all my life.
Wow.
So this is how all started. And I like to play in the bands all the time. So I beside the Larno band, which is a very big band, it was you can compare them to UB40. What is UB40 in the UK? That was the Larno band over here in Yugoslavia countries. Yeah. So but it was a big band, like 15 people in the band, so it was not too many shows, and I started some other things beside playing trombone in a reggae band. I started to play in punk, hardcore, anarcho, underground groups where I play guitar with my school friends. So I started to, from the beginning I was open to all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So I just play all these different type of things, and here I am. After that I formed Iceburn, which was very, very successful over here, and we had some possibilities to enter the international music scene, because we had 2 European tours with very established American band. But it was 2003, and simply things didn't happen, because the whole thing in the music industry changed at that point.
Okay.
So I came back to Serbia, and at that moment I was totally into UK dub and serious UK roots. That was my music number one at that time already. And listening to most of the sound system music coming from UK in that period, I noticed that people, the producer used to use the substitute for live horns at that moment.
Okay.
Like the synth horns.
Yeah.
So I really thought, I got to go to England, and I will go there and play for free for people, for producers, just to play some real horns on these beats, because I did like the sound so much.
Yeah.
And actually it was year 2005, and I came to London. I was there was MySpace era at that period.
Yeah.
So I tried to contact a lot of producers, but the first person who ever recorded me was Jerry Lyons from Twinkle Brothers.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
He was the one who was really interested in recording like a live trombone. All right, you are sure? You sure you can do it? I say yes. So that was my first recording with Jerry Lyons.
Wow.
And thanks to these few dub plates that I did in his studio in Lions Den, people start to link me for more productions, more works, more recordings.
Wow, for real. And I understand that was a part of Brass Roots, wasn't it, the album?
Yeah, the Brass Roots was actually produced by Jawworks.
Okay.
And also from UK, and that was my first album.
Wow.
And my second big thing after Jerry Lyons recorded me, that was the first collaboration.
Okay.
Through it started through MySpace, and during the time Reg and Ben and the whole Jawworks crew, we became friends. And I am part of their studio also right now, Earthworks in Amsterdam, because they moved their thing in Amsterdam. There's Earthworks studio right now in Amsterdam, in which I record a lot.
Yeah.
So Brass Roots was like the most popular album I have, and it was the album that made me tour and meet more people in the reggae world.
Wow. And I know that you've toured in places like Mexico, Ethiopia, South Africa. What was that like?
Yeah, it's strange, because my first the first tours I ever did as Hornsman solo were in Poland.
Oh wow, okay.
So through the Polish management, I managed to book Ethiopia. Ethiopia was not actually booked. I met a friend who owned an Ethiopian shop, and he was a dread from Addis Abeba, and he asked me, would you like to go with me? I found some cheap tickets. We can go maybe next week.
Wow.
for 500 euros, and I just phone home and say, listen, I'm not coming back from Poland. I have some more things to do. So I went to Ethiopia just all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So but I also did few shows in Ethiopia and Addis Ababa with in the place called something with blues.
Okay.
I'm not sure, like a blues club, the main blues club in Bole, in Addis Ababa, that area.
Wow.
Also, I play with their bigger reggae band at the moment, which is called Amharic Brothers.
Yeah.
Not the Amharic from UK, but the Ethiopian Amharic Brothers.
Yeah.
And also I did Mexico, which is not a strange thing for most of the UK artists, because I was there with Adrian Sherwood and with I can't remember who was also. Ranking Joe was there, and also Jaworks was there. Yeah, I had one Mexican tour.
Yeah.
Also, I had this chance through the same management to be an opening act for Luton Fire and John Mason. That's something really different from what I do.
Okay.
But I was opening for their shows, and we toured UK.
Wow.
My last concert was in UK 2011
Okay.
in Hootenanny with John Mason and Luton Fire.
Yeah. And what was that like?
That was nice, really. That was nice. People asked me for my CD. I didn't expect to be noticed at all. But, I did a really nice show, and it was short, like 15 minutes, but everybody was like, oh, we can get your CDs. Do you have any CDs to sell?
Yeah.
And it was really, really a nice one. I'm looking forward to come back to UK, really.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my friends are there, and it would be very musically busy if I come back.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So after that, I went with Luton and Mason to South Africa.
Okay.
So that was also a nice experience.
Yeah. Wow. And I know
I had the chance.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I had the chance to travel all across to Europe with a track show and with some backing bands, and you know how it goes in the reggae world.
Wow. And I know as well you worked with the late great Lee Scratch Perry. What was that experience like?
Well, the last time, 2011, when I was in London, I linked up with a producer called Daniel Boyle.
Yeah.
And I went to his Rolling Lion studio, which is somewhere in London. I don't remember actually where. Okay. And this is how we met. And I came back home and I get some rhythms and I blow over his rhythms. And he told me that I'm actually blowing for a new Lee Scratch Perry album.
Wow.
Back at the Controls, which end up being nominated for Grammy.
Yeah.
And that's really a dream come true to do, because to tell you honestly, why I get involved in reggae music, I never really had an ambition to be a international reggae artist.
Okay.
My wish was that exactly, to play with the greats.
Yeah.
Lee Scratch Perry, which my dreams come true, and I play with a lot of people that if somebody tell me 10 years before that I will play with them, I wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
So there's people like Prince Allah, Lee Scratch Perry, Max Romeo.
Yeah.
Definitely, I forgot somebody. Fred Locks. A lot of releases. If you look to the B-sides of some of these releases, you can find the Hornsman Coyote, Hornscat. So I have a lot of releases like that, yeah.
For real. Somebody just asked a question and said they didn't know reggae was so big in Serbia. What would you say to them?
Well, actually, to be honest, it's not big at all.
Okay.
Most of the people who like reggae in Serbia are involved in reggae somehow.
Okay.
We don't have the sound systems at sound systems. We have selectors, and we have like a few hundred of pure reggae covers. But if you make a reggae concert in Belgrade, you will have the place packed, because a lot of people who actually, people over here, they listen to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
But if you brought a big reggae name like, I don't know, Spear or Black Uhuru or Steel Pulse, you will have definitely a sold out show.
Wow, for real.
Like something like Rastafari Community or something like that. We don't have that. That doesn't exist here.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all on music.
Yeah, for real.
My dog he sees that I speak with someone and he went crazy. He jumps on me all the time.
No problem. That's funny. So then I know as well you did another album called Seven Green. How did that come about?
Well, as I said before, I never had an ambition to be a reggae singer or something like that, because there are people who sing reggae.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm trying to say, not to be rude or disrespecting anybody, but there's too much of these European singers. And I realized that it's not my ambition to be that. I'm a trombonist, but I have to sing because I love to sing.
Yeah.
And over here, while I perform, when I do a show, if I play a trombone for like 2 hours, I need some dynamics into the show. So I could have 2 songs that I sing, then I can have 3 that I just blow. So to make a show more interesting, this is why I involved this singing a little bit.
Yeah.
And people over here, they love my singing because they can relate to the lyrics, because I'm singing about the problem of the people over here.
Yeah.
About the problems that we face over here. So my vocal tracks are very popular in Poland, in Serbia, in Croatia, in this part of the world where people can more easily relate to me.
Yeah, for real. You know what?
In my position in society and in life and in all.
Yeah, man, for real. But if you're impacting people positively, then it can only be a blessing, for real.
Yes, definitely. Whatever kind of music I do, I just make sure that it's on the bright side.
Yeah, definitely.
I even play guitar in very extreme, like grindcore type of music.
Wow.
But the message have to be bright.
Yeah, definitely.
And the new album of my band Iceberg that I just mentioned to you in the beginning of our conversation, our new album is called Troops of Light. Okay. So we are the Troops of Light.
Yeah, 100%. And there is a tune that you play on Roaring Brass called Humble Lion, and it's one of our sisters in dub. We always play that particular tune. We just think it's just incredible. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, you mean the Roots High Tech Roaring Brass album?
Yeah, we really love that one.
Yeah.
We love it.
I don't know if you know, me and High Tech, we have a new one.
Okay.
Which is called Dub Realms Part 2. You can link Roots High Tech and get that's my latest release.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
And it's out on CD and it's over there in UK. Okay. Roots High Tech has it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna check that out straight away. Definitely.
Yes.
We just got another question from a listener. They're asking, who inspires you?
Well, of course, if we speak about the trombone and all the greats, the great trombone players like Vin Gordon, of course, Rico Rodriguez, Nambo Robinson, my friend Matic Horns, Henry Buttons.
Wow.
Well, the lovely thing about trombone is an instrument that every person play completely different.
Yeah.
So if you play me a Nambo track, I will say to you, this is Nambo. And if you play a Vin Gordon track, I will say, this is Vin Gordon. And if you play a Hornsman Coyote track, you will say, this is Coyote. Because, it's this instrument, it's almost like singing.
Yeah.
And the expression while you play these instruments is very similar to singing. So as every person has different voice, so every person play trombone very different.
Wow, wow. So, if somebody wanted to learn the trombone, what would...
Sorry. I have to say, beside the big reggae trombonists,
Yeah.
there's also jazz trombonists that really inspired me, like Curtis Fuller.
Okay, yeah.
And Vic Dickinson. And also from reggae, my main influence in reggae is a UK group,
Okay.
Misty and Roots.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
That's my number one group of all times.
Okay, wow. Big 'em up for real. Yeah. Big up.
I hope they listen.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
that.
For real. And so, of course, I was just going to say, if somebody wanted to learn this particular instrument, the trombone, what would you say to them? What do they need to learn first before they just get into it?
Yeah, it would be nice to find somebody just to show them how to hold an instrument, how to breathe, and how to produce sound. And after that, if you want to be a reggae trombonist, it's better you don't have any technical education. You should be going by yourself, listen music and play along with it. And this is how you get your sound. This is how you get your attitude. This is how you become yourself as a trombone player. Yeah. But it's nice if you get somebody to show you the basic stuff.
Yeah.
So you can start.
For real. And what would you like, say, the younger listeners to take away from you as a musician? Would you want more young people to be musicians?
Well, music can't stop. Music is life. More musicians, more experience. I learn, even in rock music that I do over here in Serbia, I watch these kids and I'm amazed how far, when we started in the 90s, we were not so sharp. Maybe because they have all these devices and of course the web where we can see everything that we are interested about. But I think that's something in also there's an evolution in human by itself. So these kids are really 10 years in front. Yeah, definitely.
Wow, for real.
And I would like to see them grow more and more, and I would like to see them just I like to see more people doing music every time.
Yeah, definitely. So what's next for you? What can we as the listeners expect from you next?
Well, I'm trying to put out something by myself because so far I have 15 albums. I don't know if you check my Discogs.
Yeah, definitely.
15 albums alone, and like 50 or like 57, 10, 12 inches. None of this material is actually mine.
Okay.
And I don't own anything from these things, which is not bad because this is the way I wanted. I was not interested in it, but now I would like to have just to see how it goes. Really.
Yeah.
I would like to see what's going on and how this function at all. And I'm trying to put out my album from scratch by doing it alone with my friends.
Wow.
From here and there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking forward to come back to Jamaica and if I can play with some musicians over there and maybe do some final touches on the album over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
That would be amazing. That definitely would be amazing. And I always ask every artist, every musician, if they would like to play something for the listeners. So it's up to you. Would you be up for that?
Here's a little bit of trombone for you.
Okay, wow. amazing.
Did you hear my doggy?
Yeah, we did. People are loving it. People are smiling and laughing and saying they love the vibe and they're glad that the dog joined in. Wow. Big up your dog as well.
My English was not so terrible.
No, it was not terrible at all. It was perfect. Absolutely fine.
All right.
Yeah, man. And of course, let the people know how they can find your music and how they can get in touch with you.
Well, if you go to Bandcamp, there's a lot of these releases on Bandcamp, definitely. And if somebody asks me an MP3 or somebody, I send them a WeTransfer link. No worries. They can link me up on my page, Hornsman Coyote, and Facebook. So, you know, as you know, I started in the 90s, so all this internet stuff is new for me, and I've been rejecting to get to know it. Okay. But I have to do it now because I see there's no other way it can be done. So I will get more involved in distributing my music and see how it functions, how it works, because I was not touching that part of the business so far.
Yeah, I hear that. And of course, what would you like to say to your listeners, your fans, the people that have been supporting you so far? What would you like to say to them?
I can't wait to see you all. It's good that this thing is probably over.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to all my friends in UK, all over UK, Leeds, London, everywhere. Big up Iration, Steppers, Barrington, Judah.
Yeah.
Not to mention too many people, because definitely I will forget somebody, because I know so many people.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to come back to UK as soon as possible.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you live and direct as well. It'll be a blessing.
Yes. More love, and let love shine bright, and let's hope for better tomorrow.
Yeah, man, definitely. You know what? It's been an absolute blessing to speak with you. A pure blessing, and I just hope that more and more music comes, because we're looking forward to it for real.
Yes, now we're linked, and I will definitely inform you if I have some new effort.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, yeah? It's been a blessing again, and I appreciate your time as well.
Blessed love, jobless, and I hope I see you all soon.
You will do. Have a blessed rest of the day.
Yeah. One love.
Bless up. Bless.
Bless up. Bless.